Welcome. I'm the DeadwoodJedi, and what we're going to be doing today is the beginning of a new series. This is going to be a Masteries series. The number one most requested feature, question, advice that I get all the time in my Discord, in the comments. What are the masteries my champions are using? What are the masteries I need to avoid? What are the masteries I should take for this champion or that champion? When I go into an account for a takeover, undoubtedly, one of the biggest issues are the masteries on the champions. So this is something that I definitely wanted to go over with you guys. Been wanting to for a while. Finally got the time and the energy to go ahead and put this video together for you because I think it's going to be really informative and help you a lot with your clan boss teams. So this is going to be a mastery guide. Now, I first did this and it was like, I thought 10 minutes, we'll talk about it really quick, cover everything and be done. I ended up talking for like an hour. So what I decided to do is I'm going to break up the mastery video into three parts. There's three branches of the masteries. There's the offense, defense, and support. We're going to go over each one of those in its own individual video so that we can go a little bit more in depth, talk about what each of the abilities have, when you're going to want to use different things for different champions, and it'll give you the tools to really build the masteries of your champions in a way that's going to work for you. So that's really important. We're going to start with offense today, and then we'll do defense tomorrow, and then we'll finish it off on Sunday with the support mastery. So definitely stick around for that. Make sure you're gonna want to watch all three videos. That last one might be the most important of the three. And you know, if you guys need to know this, if this is informative to you, please subscribe to the videos. That's going to make a big difference for me as a content creator, and it's also going to be good for you guys. You're going to know when the next video I put out is. I don't do this every day. I try to put out stuff that interests me. To be honest with you, if I find it interesting, I find it fun, then that's what I want to share it with you guys. And so it's a little bit more sporadic. So hitting that notification bell, subscribing to the channel is going to give you the information, let you guys know exactly when these videos are coming out. So that said, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you, we're going to go ahead and talk about offensive mastery. Should be fun. So the first thing I would like to do is I want to talk about, because you see there's three different trees: offense, defense, and support. All three have their place in the game, sometimes depending on how far along you are, sometimes just depending on the champions you have, which is obvious and makes some sense. But the one tree that everybody uses, and this is why I'm on this side of the screen right now, is the offensive tree. And so I thought we'd first take a look at the offensive tree. Now, as you know, on each level within a tree, you have to choose one of the first two, and then you get to choose up to one or two of the next skills as you go further down the tree, and then the bottom one you can choose one across all the different branches. And when you're choosing, you can only choose two of the branches, obviously, etc., etc. If you have an understanding of how the masteries work, this shouldn't be too complicated for you. And if you're at the point where you're building your masteries, you probably have this figured out. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is what to choose and what not to choose. So, of the first two in the offensive tree, you have straight attack, which is trash, and then you have crit rate, which is good. Choose the crit rate. 100% every single time. It's what everybody does. There's a reason for it. You're going to get more out of that 5% crit rate than you will of that 75 flat attack. The next one you're going to choose, crit damage. Because guess what? You just chose crit rate. What goes with it? Crit damage. So get that 10% crit damage. Those are the first two. Those are no-brainers. Everybody gets them. On this second tree here, there's two options if you'd like an additional skill. Sometimes you want to take something from one of the other branches, but if you're just in the offensive tree and you're looking for a second one, there's two options. The first one is Heart of Glory, and this will have you inflict more damage if you have max or full HP. If you have a Bad Alcazar that can fully heal you before you go, if you have a Valkyrie with her shield that can keep you protected before you go, if you use a Warlord, same kind of thing with the shield, Heart of Glory makes a lot of sense. That should increase your damage as you are attacking for the majority of the fight at full health. If that's not the case, I would recommend Grim Resolve. Your damage increases by 5% when you're attacking with 50% HP or less. Now, once you go under 50% HP, you're not usually in that situation for too long in the fight. But by doing more damage at a lower health, you might be able to heal more, especially with lifesteal on, than you normally would. And that can be a very, I mean, I don't know how important that is, but it's better than nothing. And doing that little bit of extra damage can make a difference. The next level, so as you come down, crit rate, crit damage, and then you can choose one of those two if you like. Typically, there's two builds. One of them sends you all the way down that left side. When I'm watching the screen, it's my left side. All the way down the left side of the offensive tree down to War Master. The other build sends me all the way down that left side, and then I take a sharp turn till I get all the way down here to Giant Slayer. No matter what you do, you're doing one of two builds, either for Giant Slayer or War Master. That's it. You're always doing one of those two. The reason why is because you're going to do so much more damage with those two. The clan boss has such high HP, and every time you hit with War Master, you're going to end up doing 4% of the boss's max HP. It's a huge percent. You're basically doing somewhere between, like, I want to say 50 and 75,000 damage, something like that. Decreased defense and weaken definitely affects that, but you do about 60k damage on each of those hits. That's significant. That's very significant. It's like a poison proc, or like 2 poison procs or something crazy. The other one that's really valuable, obviously Giant Slayer. This one procs on every attack. The other one's just a percentage chance on an attack. Doesn't matter how many times you hit. This one, you get a 30% chance every time you hit. So if you have multiple attacks on your A1 or other skills, this one's more valuable then, even though it does only 3% of the max HP. So it does a little bit less damage, but it can occur more often. So the general rule is, if you have a champion with on their A1, their basic attack, they do 3 attacks, then Giant Slayer is more valuable. If you have someone that does 1 or 2, then War Master is more valuable. That's the general rule of thumb. I don't know that it necessarily holds up to practice. You can math it out if you want to and figure out what's most valuable for your team, what's most likely to proc and do the most damage over time. It's fairly negligible, but really, like, it's an easy break point once you hit that triple A1 attack. At that point, you start to see that Giant Slayer becomes more valuable than War Master. Before that, War Master is generally going to do more for you. So just keep that in mind. That's something to think about there, I guess, as you're going through it. But the ultimate goal is to end up at one of those two things, always. So how do we get there? Well, typically, going down this left side of the tree is really valuable. You have this mastery singled out. Increases the damage to targets with less than 40% HP. If you're facing Affinity Clan boss, that means you're going to do 8% more damage. That's good. You have this one, bring it down, increases damage by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP. Well, guess what? Clan boss is definitely going to have more HP than your champion, so that's an extra 6% damage. Methodical, increases damage inflicted by the champion's default skill by 2% each time it is used in battle. Stacks up to 10%. Free 10%. I mean, I'll take it. So those 3 generally are very valuable and work for most clan boss teams. There are times where you don't need singled out. If you only face Void Affinity, that's not going to help you then. If you have an unkillable, basically if you face Void Affinity, singled out's no use. The alternative choice, the only other skill on here that I think is actually valuable for clan boss is this one, Life Drinker. You heal by 5% of the damage inflicted when you're attacking with 50% HP or less. This is crucial for a Skull Crusher, who uses his unkillable ability and ally protection to often go below 50% HP and needs to re-heal before the next attack. It's very good for Man-Eater comps where they don't block damage. And if you can find a way this can be a way to get some health back in between. Not that they need it, but it can be useful. But I generally put that on a lot of my champions just to give a little bit extra healing. It's not significant, but it can be enough to make a difference. Now, if you're trying to get to the Giant Slayer here, a lot of times what will happen is you'll go down this left tree, and then you'll add this one in here, Kill Streak, to give you access to it. Increase the damage. This really has nothing to do with Clan Boss. It's good in other areas, though. Very good in other areas, dungeons and arena. So it's worth taking on a lot of champions. but what it does is it grants you access to Giant Slayer, and that's really what you need. So those are the two typical builds for the offensive tree. And here, let me go ahead, and I'm going to go show you a couple of champions that have this build right now. So one of my champions that has that build going for Giant Slayer is my Rosin. And you can see right here, we come down that entire left side and then head right over to Giant Slayer. Rosin has a triple attack on his A1, and so he goes down the left side all the way over to Giant Slayer there. You can see I've also given him Heart of Glory as well as Life Drinker. For me, those seem to be the most effective. I have a Valkyrie, so we're at full health almost the whole time. This is one of the most effective ways for me to go. If you're going the other way, let me see if I can find a good champion for it. Valkyrie is actually a great example. Going down the other side, so you can see he goes down the left side all the way down here to War Master. Just follows that tree all the way down. And also, Heart of Glory. I also have Life Drinker, and I have two other masteries that don't really affect Clan Boss, but they're good in other areas of the game, so I keep those on as well. But basically taking that entire left side all the way down. Those are the two basic builds, and I'll have that on most of my, well, pretty much all of my Clan Boss champions, you will see. You can see I have another Giant Slayer composition here for my Vizier. I have a little bit more defensive stuff, so I didn't take Heart of Glory, which may be a mistake, maybe not. But yeah, those are the options that you have, and that's what I went ahead and did. So that covers the offensive masteries, guys. Clearly, you need to take that. It's going to make such a huge difference. Typically, when people transition from Brutal Clan Boss to Nightmare Clan Boss, one of the biggest changes is getting the masteries done. When you start proccing the Weapon Master or Giant Slayer and Weapon Master procs, that makes all the difference. I mean, you're talking about millions more damage at that point. So you definitely want to get your champions to 6-star. That's a big key, and you want to get the masteries done on them. It's a huge grind. It's a real pain in the butt, but it's worth it. Believe me when I say it is worth it. You want to get that done. The damage change is enormous, and the rewards from Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss are so much better than Brutal or Hard. It's account changing. So definitely you're going to want to do that, guys. Hopefully this was helpful for you. You know which masteries to take. If you're still here watching at this point, I don't see why you don't subscribe. You clearly are enjoying the content or something about this. Maybe it's just my hat, whatever it is. But it makes a big difference for me. So if you don't mind subscribing, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think about these. Did I make any mistakes? Is there anything that you think I should have included as far as information goes? Yeah, go ahead and let me know that. You know, type down in the comments below anything that you didn't realize going into this that now you realize. That's always awesome. I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.